Hey YouTube, here is Mr. Blue Eyes. And today I will show you my ABC Dragon Buster deck. Slash Cyber Dragon then. So, without further ado, let's go. We will start with our basic engine, and of course, if you hear the word ABC, you already know which card I mean. So, to start off with 3 A Assault Cores. Yugioh Monster, 1900 attack, very handy, level 4. You can equip this card, of course, like B and C also, and unequip it to special summon it on the field. But if it is equipped while attached to a monster, if that monster will be destroyed, you can destroy this equipped card instead. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one other Yugioh monster from your graveyard to your hand. So that's always handy. Then we go to 3 times B-Buster Drake. 1500 attack, 1800 defense. Same way as A Assault with as a Union. But if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Yugioh monster from your deck to your hands. Basically, I use this card much more than A Assault because this is probably from ABC the best. And then of course we have 3 times Sea Crush Wyvern, 1200 attack, 2000 defense. Same way with Union, of course. And this has the effect when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon one Yugioh monster from your hands. So that are your base monsters. Then we have 3 Union Drivers, level 5, also a Yugioh monster, and 2100 attack, so that's also good. And this has the effect once per turn you can target one face-up monster you control, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it, of course, to the field. If the equipped monster will be destroyed by battle card, you can destroy this card instead, just like ABC can. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can banish this equipped card. Equip one level 4 or lower appropriate Yugioh monster from your deck to that monster this card was equipped to. Of course, you can only use that effect once per turn. So, always handy, but I do not use Union Drive with that effect. I use it more for another monster, which you will see later in the extra deck. Then we have 3 copies of Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon, very good card. And has of course the effect, if your opponent controls no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Nothing more, nothing less. And then we have 3 Psy Frame Gear Gamma. It's a tuner, but I do not use synchro monsters, so that's not important. It's a very handy hand trap. Because it cannot be normal summoned to set, must be special summoned by a card effect. When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control no monsters, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand and one Psy Frame Driver from your hand, deck or graveyard. And if you do, negate activation. And if you do that, destroy that monster. Downside from it is during the end phase, banish the face-up monster special summoned by this effect. So that's kind of a little sad, but still no problem. And of course, we run one Psy Frame Driver by using the effect of Psy Frame Gear Gamma. Then we have 2 copies of Galaxy Soldier, level 5 monster, 2000 attack, always handy, light machine. You can send one other light monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand in defense position. When this card is special summoned, you can add one Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use that effect of Galaxy Soldier once per turn. So you can special summon 3 Galaxy Soldiers in one turn. If you have 3 in your hand, of course. Then we go on to 2 Zelvergettets, level 4, 1500 attack, machine, light. But the most important is this effect, and of course that is, when this card is normal special summoned, you can special summon one level 4 machine monster from your hand, which is very handy of course with ABC. And of course, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effects, you can special summon one level 4 gadget monster from my deck. Which we have, of course, is 2 copies of Gold Gadget. Same ID, same effect. So, nothing more, nothing less to tell actually. And then we have 1 copy of Heavy Mech Support Armor, is a Union. Also, and has the effect, if this card is normal summoned, you can target 1 Union monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Always handy. And once per turn, you can equip this card or unequip it. And if you equip this card to a monster, your opponent cannot target a monster equipped with this card with card effects. And of course, if the monster will be destroyed, you can destroy this card instead. I did forget to mention, before we go on to the spells and traps, that when a assault is equipped on a monster, that monster is unaffected by your opponent's effects, with Be Buster Drake by spells and with Sea Crush traps. So remember that. And then we go on to the spells and traps. Of course, we have 3 copies of Union Hanger. Field spell card, and has the effect when this card is activated, you can add 1 Light Machine Union monster from your deck to your hand. But the other effect, which is much better in my opinion, once per turn, if a Light Machine Union monster is normal special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can target 1 of those monsters and equip 1 appropriate Light Machine Union monster with a different name from your deck to that monster. But the Union monster you equip cannot be special summoned this turn. That's the downside, but it's okay. It's still a good card. And we have 2 copies of Limiter Removal, Quick Play spell card. Very handy card, because you can double the attack of all machine monsters you currently control until the end of the turn. But, downside of course, destroy all those monsters who got the bonus. Then we have 2 copies Unauthorized Reactivation, also a quick play spell card, and has the effect target 1 machine monster you control. Equip 1 appropriate machine Union monster from your hand or deck to that monster, but the Union monster you equip cannot be special summoned this turn. Just like Union Hanger. Then we have 2 copies of Polymerization. The Fusion Summon, of course. 1 Fusion Substitute. This card is always treated as a Polymerization. And you can Fusion Summon then 1 Fusion monster from your extra deck using the monsters you control as Fusion materials. And, very handy effect of course, the second one, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Fusion monster in your graveyard. Return it to the extra deck and you can draw 1 card. Always handy. Then we have 1 copy of Terraforming. Add 1 field spell from your deck to your hand. We have 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Send 1 monster from your deck to the graveyard. Sometimes if you have a bad hand, then and you only have A and C, then I activate Foolish Burial to get a Be Buster Drake to the grave already, because ABC Dragon Buster is an contact fusion. Then we have 1 copy of Monster Reborn. Target 1 monster in either player's graveyard, especially summon it. And the only trap I have is Solemn Strike, a quick play trap card with the effect when a monster or monsters will be special summoned or a monster effect is activated, pay 1500 life points to gate the summon or activation, and if you do, destroy the card. So that was my deck. Now we go on to the extra deck. So here we come with our extra deck from my ABC/Cyber Dragon deck. We have 3 copies of course of ABC Dragon Buster. It's your boss monster of course, very good card. You need of course A Assault, B Buster Drake and C Crush Wyvern. This card can be special summoned from the extra deck by banishing the above cards you control and or from your graveyard. And you do not use Polymerization. And then comes the handy effect of course. Once per turn, quick effect, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 card of course on the field from your opponent. and banish it. And of course, during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can tribute this card, then target 3 of your banished light machine union monsters and special summon them. So you can get always, in a bad situation, A, B, and C back on the field. Very handy. Oh. Then we have 1 copy of Cyber Twin Dragon. It has 2 Cyber Dragons. That's why I use polymerization in my deck. A fusion summon of this card can only be done with the above fusion materials. But the better effect, of course, is this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. 2100 attack. Then we have 1 Chimera Tech Over Dragon. It casts 1 Cyber Dragon and +1 or more machine monsters. And his attack depends on how much machine monsters you use. Gear 800. And this card can attack your opponent's monster up to the number of monsters you use as fusion material. So sometimes if you use 5, you can attack 5 times. So sometimes it's handy, sometimes not. And then of course we go to the XYZs. And we go then of course to the other boss monster. We have 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Nova. Not much that we use it. Only 4 to summon a second boss monster. 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Infinity. Once per turn you can target 1 face-up attack position monster on the field, attach it to this card. And then this card gains 200 attack. And once per turn when a card or effect is activated, you can detach 1 material from this card and negate activation if you destroy it. So if you have ABC Dragon Buster, you can banish 1 card with an Infinity on the field. You also can negate a card and take a monster. So always handy. Then we have 2 copies of Gear Giant X. It has 2 level 4 machine type monsters, which is not so difficult in this deck. And once per turn you can detach 1 material from this card and add 1 level 4 lower machine type monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. The graveyard I do not use much. Deck of course, because I always want as soon as possible 1 of the 3 A, B or C. Then I have 1 copy of Starless Paladinamo. Has 2 level 4 light monsters and has the effect once per turn you can detach 2 materials from this card to target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 0, and if it does, its effects are negated. Also, if this card is destroyed by a card effect or battle, I can draw 1 card. And I have 1 copy of Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. It has 2 level 4 monsters and has of course the effects if you detach 2 materials that you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. That attack from that monster becomes half. And Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon gains that attack. So always handy. And we have done 1 Link monster and this Platinum Gadget. And he has 2 machine monsters and has the effects that he during my main phase I can special summon 1 level 4 lower machine monster from my hand to the sign this card points to. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, I can special summon 1 level 4 gadget monster from my deck. So silver and gold. So that was my extra deck. Now I will show you a combo. I shuffled my deck, so we will see what is our beginning hands. We have a Galaxy Soldier, Union Hanger, Seeker's Wyvern, Unauthorized Reactivation, and a Cyber Dragon. Alright, that's not a bad start. If it is my turn, and my opponent, I could let my opponent to begin, then I can special summon a Cyber Dragon to the field. Then I can send 1 light monster from my hand to the graveyard, so I will use my Seeker's Wyvern to special summon a Galaxy Soldier, excuse me. And then of course I can add 1 Galaxy card, so I will look up to the Galaxy Soldier. And where you are, here he is. And we shuffle again our deck. Very handy. Then we activate Union Hanger. When this card is activated, you can add one Light Machine Union monster. So we do a Assault. We put it to the hand. Shuffle our deck again. Then we normal summon a Assault. Then Union Hanger says we can appropriate one type on it. So we will choose B Buster Drake, of course, because we already have Seeker's Wyvern. Or you do other ways, because you add B Buster Drake and you equip a Assault Core, so B Buster Drake is unaffected. Okay, with this we do not much. Then we go to the extra deck. We overlay Galaxy Soldier and Cyber Dragon to get Cyber Dragon Nova, Infinity. And that's it for the turn. Well, and of course, if the next turn, and nothing will happen, you can make a Assault of B Buster Drake is summoned on the field. You have A, B, and C in the grave to get, of course, your beautiful boss monster, ABC Dragon Buster. And then you can destroy your opponent. That actually was it actually. I hope you enjoy it. And subscribe, comment what you think about this deck. And see you soon. Bye bye.